Yeah. Okay. So it's another day on Rush Online, and today we are gonna divert a bit. It's not gonna be the usual um Nigeria issues and stuff. Today we're doing something, um in a broader perspective, like something covering the whole of Africa, concerning Africa. And today we're going to be doing this with Mr. Ben, and Mr. Ben is the head of governance and assurance when it comes to the Apex Group. So, Mr. Ben, welcome to the platform.
Many thanks, Rationally, and thank you for having me.
I hope all is well at your end.
Yeah, we just had a storm where I'm currently located, but that is nearly over. So besides that, life is as smooth as usual. We
Okay.
can't complain.
All right. So, with the viewers, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Like and please do well to share this video. Please share this video for us. And as time goes on, we'll be reacting to your messages. So keep the messages coming if in case you have any reaction or any questions to ask. And if you wanna contribute, or let's say if you have any question, okay, you just put it in the comment section, then we are going to react to it. And if time permits us, maybe if the program doesn't prolong to if the program doesn't like go long, I'm going to give some kind of room for others to join in to ask their questions personally. So that's how we're going to be doing it. And Mr. Ben, please, do you have anything to tell the audience before we start?
Yeah, I think we will start with a disclaimer. I am one of the apex citizens of Ghana's executives, but this interview I'll be saying things that are personal to myself and not it doesn't represent the stance of apex citizens of Ghana. It's just an opinion expressed by myself, and we're all learning. It will be my opinion at this time and moment, and subject to changes in the future. So nobody can hold us to our words. We're all learning.
Okay, so exactly so. So Mr. Ben, before we begin with everything, I would like you to listen to this and let me know your thoughts on this video.
And I said it once, I'll say it again, even on your platform. Africa does not need democracy.
What do we need?
It's a smokescreen of lies, which allows imperialism and neocolonialism to continue. Africa needs dictators. Africa needs military dictators.
Military, not just any other dictator.
Military for security. Dictators in that they must dictate the right thing. We need people that are purposeful, cutting down the bureaucracy of democracy and getting things done. If you walk up into your parliament right now, you'll have papers the size of this room of good ideas that have never been implemented, roads that have never been finished, buildings and hospitals that have not been repaired, but budget approved and voted. It's in the pipeline. It's in the pipeline. And in the midst of that pipeline, procurement, corruption, and preferential procurement, looting and stealing is happening. How does a minister walks into government with 50,000 shillings become a millionaire in 2 years? with a salary that can't afford 3 pairs of shoes. Where does he get the money from?
When Maponga says Africa does not need democracy, he is not glorifying tyranny, he is exposing the scam. Democracy in Africa is nothing but a smokescreen, a theater stage where imperialism hides behind ballot boxes. Every 5 years, we vote, we dance, we sing. Then the same thieves return to parliament to loot under the cover of procedure. Look at Ibrahim Traoré in Burkina Faso. He has become a model because he does not waste time with the bureaucracy of fake democracy. He dictates, but he dictates the right thing. Security, sovereignty, dignity. He is cutting the fat, not feeding on it. That is what Africa needs: leaders who are soldiers of purpose, not politicians of excuses. Democracy here has produced nothing but pipelines full of dust, budgets approved, hospitals never built, roads never finished. Ministers enter office with nothing and leave millionaires. Where does the money come from? From the pipeline of corruption, procurement cartels, and imperialist puppetry. Africa needs military men and women with conscience, dictators of order, of progress, of sovereignty. Not the ballot box charade, not the illusion of choice. Purposeful dictatorship is the antidote to Africa's paralysis.
Yeah, Mr. Ben.
Hi, Raj.
Yeah. I hope you heard it clearly, though.
I did, and very exciting insight from our brother Maponga from Zimbabwe.
Mapunga.
Yeah, who happens to be a brother-in-law. So, yes.
Oh,
though
Mapunga is your brother-in-law.
no, I'm not saying it as literally not a brother-in-law by blood, but
Oh, okay,
just because
okay.
he's from Zimbabwe, and in the past, Mugabe, who happens to be the first president in Zimbabwe, was married to a Ghanaian woman, and since then there has been a very good relationship between Ghana and Zimbabwe, which has some blood lineages as well, and some of us are not exempted. So yes, it's from that perspective, not
Okay.
directly. Yeah.
So your views about the video?
Well, I agree with the point that democracy is not working for Africa, and the submissions he gave was valid, and we're seeing it across the continent. And Ghana is not exempted. I mean, Ghana is turning 68, I think, very soon, and
Yeah.
we can't have anything tangible to match that age that Ghana has come. So the reasons given in Maponga's presentation, the evidence is what we're seeing playing out in our country, Ghana. So yes, where I disagree with him is the element of we need military leaders. Now, leadership, yes, there is some great deal of elements of the military that promotes quality leadership, but leadership, I believe, has more, which I believe it's a character, and I think just saying that military leadership will work for Africa is something I cannot agree. What I can agree, or what I will present as my solution, will be a form of leadership carved out of our socioeconomic dynamics, something novel, unique to Africans. And if we're able to cause something for ourselves and use it to rule our individual nations or the entire continent, I think that will work. But then just military rule, because we have Ibrahim Touari in Burkina Faso doing well in the eyes of many, doesn't mean
Yeah,
that
so like,
it
isn't
will work for
isn't
everyone.
isn't that enough reason to at least conclude that at least there is something positive when it comes to the military rule?
Yeah, I mean there are positive things. Ghana, we've had military leaders, and there are positive things about their leadership, but there are also negative things, and it's a matter of just weighing the pros and cons and making a decision on where to go. Where I stand is, why can we not just get the pros of military leadership, and then get the cons of other forms of leadership, and then combine everything into a single unique novel method of leadership that can fit well for our people.
Hmm. Okay, then let me ask you this question: has Africa ever been one?
Um, Africa is a very big continent. If you look at diversity, there is nowhere on this planet that is more diverse than Africa. So if somebody tells me that Africa was one and it was divided by Europeans or colonizers, yes, there is a little bit of truth in that, but Africa has always been diverse, and the diversity comes with its territories. So Africa has, to me, has never been one.
Wow.
Let's take let's just
Even during the times where there were no borders.
Yeah, I mean these things, the borders that we're talking about are borders that were created by the Europeans, by the colonizers. But besides that, there were borders already. There were territories. Let's look at our own country, Ghana. Ghana had even before Gold Coast was formed, we had the Gold Coast, the British Gold Coast. We also had Western Togoland. We had Northern
Mhm.
Territories, and then we had the Ashanti Kingdom. So these were clearly area territories that had marks that everybody knew uh, to what extent their land goes, and they live within their own territories. So these um, division that we think that the colonizers divided Africa. Yes, they did, but prior to that, there were divisions along the lines of tribes and empires and kingdoms that existed. And within empires, there were tribal territories as well. So Africa has always been divided. There hasn't been a time that Africa was one. If there was a time, then I would push that time back to when man was created. At that time, there wasn't that diversity. So uh, that would be my submission, that Africa has always been divided along different lines, and the Europeans only came in to divide, to conquer, uh, based on their objectives, and it didn't serve well for Africa.
Okay. Well, to your best of knowledge, who started this whole Africa unity talks? all this, like trying to bring Africa together and all that. And when do you think, when did the idea, start in the first place?
Okay. See, the unity of Africa, I think it started when slavery was at its peak. We know about the black people who ended up in the across the Atlantic in the Americas. Especially those in the Caribbean and North America. They were marginalized and discriminated against. They were pretty much treated like properties, and at the time and age, it was normal to the colonizers. So there was a need for them to come together because if they hadn't, there was no chance they would survive. So they had to come together. That's tribes, people taken from different tribes in Africa, put together in a ship. They couldn't speak the same language. They were divided along the lines of language, even in terms of physical strength. There was so much. Diversity amongst them. But when they got there and they realized what they were being used for, and they felt the need to liberate themselves, they had to come together, and when they did, they were successful in achieving freedom. Now, at that around that same time, Africa, I believe, where most of us were under colonization, and some Africans managed to have a chance to have communication with Africans in the Americas, and they their eyes were open to what unity can bring. That when you're united, you are a strong force, and as a result, you're able to achieve more. So the likes of Kwame Nkrumah, when he returned to Ghana, he came with some African Americans to preach this idea of unity and togetherness, and the energy and the power that comes with unity is enough to achieve anything. So I believe that is where it started. I may be wrong. There might be other perspectives, but this is where it started. And so Nkrumah started propagating, bringing all Africans together. At some point, there were a lot of Africans from all corners of the continent in Ghana for the purpose of training and the purpose of liberating their homelands.
Well, but what does it mean to be united as Africans?
Come again? What does it mean to
Yeah,
be?
what does it mean to be united as Africans, really?
Okay, now this is a question that I believe a lot of us, especially those who are pro unity, we need to have a definition of what kind of unity we're talking about when we talk about AU, or even the regional um, uh, what do you call it, segments like ECOWAS or the Southern African, I believe all these East, West, North, and South, and Central, we've all got our own united groups. Now, this unity is not, I don't know if it's been defined, but I'm yet to know what that definition is.
Mm.
Let's take example. Like we say that Africa has never been one. You can unite physically, like a family, for example, a man marrying a woman. You call that unity. They come together to form a family, and they live together physically. They interact with each other. They sleep in the same bed. They cook. They eat the same food. They become one, and that is physically uniting two different people into one, and their offsprings are pretty much a combination of these two, and that even stamps that unity firmly. That's
Mm,
one form of unity. The other unity is united objectives, and I think this is what uh, our Nkrumah and our past leaders were looking at. We have different countries, like we said. Africa is quite diverse, and so it will take so much to just take one person from, let's say, Somaliland and bring that person to Liberia and expect them to coexist. There is so much diversity that if you force these two cultures to come together, there has to be compromises to enable it to work. Where the parties are not willing to compromise on their differences, there is bound to be chaos and friction. Now, I don't think this is what Africa wants. What Africa wants is united in objectives, in vision. So, if, for example, we're saying that, oh, Africa, actually, the borders that we have has to be dissolved because they were created by the colonizers, and so we are one. This, I believe, is the recipe for disaster, in that there are certain cultures that when you bring to another culture, you introduce a disturbance in the harmony of that of the culture that uh, has been created. And if there are no controls in place, we are going to have anarchy. There will be chaos. And so those preaching that we are one, the oneness, if I would want it to be defined, it should be defined in terms of having a common stand when it comes to international. Or when it comes to the global stage, for example, decision on defense, military, decisions on trade, decisions
mm,
on export of, obviously this all falls under trade, decisions on health, and so many other things. That's when we can say that yes, as Africa, this is our stand, and everybody will support it. But if you want to physically put us together, we're going to cause problems, and Ghana is currently facing that kind of problem. I believe there are other countries in Africa
and
facing
like
the same
South
challenges.
Africa. Mm,
Yeah, South Africa will be facing similar challenges. I believe Kenya is having the same.
mm,
Ethiopia is having similar challenges. Um, I don't know about Mali, but Nigeria, I believe they're facing similar challenges. Sorry. So it's not an easy thing. It's quite complex, and I think um, if we will define it and make it work, then we have a chance. That kind of unity can work,
mm.
but physically just mixing us together, I think will cause serious problems.
Wow. So if I should ask you, let's say like in your own opinion,
Yeah.
with regards to this Africa unity thing, in the next 100 years, how do you see it?
Wow, that is a big question. So if we are looking at unity in terms of objectives and uh, goals, in our present day, I feel China is a one leading in terms of who is a superpower. Africa has a great chance to be the next superpower. So in 100 years, if we're able to aim at defining our unity, what is it that we want to achieve as a unified continent, um, th- then we can put policies and measures and processes in place to ensure that each state or each country work to that vision and is able to bring itself to a level where we will have strength in numbers, and that strength will be able to match the strength of the likes of China, Russia, and America. And with the position of Africa and the resources that we have, I believe that if we're making things ourselves unique to Africa to promote, like, we eat what we grow, we build what we use. When we're able to do all these things, we will become a superpower, because every other continent would depend on us for their material resources to enable them function. So in
Mhm.
100 years, if our unity is defined and we have policies and and goals and processes put together for each member state, and we work as a collective body, then we could be a superpower. But until we do that, we've still not trashed out our differences. Until we do that, I don't see us getting anywhere. You see, this notion of, the unity, African unity, it's not about the color of one's skin. That I'm black, so there is they say there is 54 states, or is it 55? 54. Am I? Is
Mhm.
it 54 states? And
Yeah, 54.
the last group is actually black people in the diaspora. When we are now looking at this color of our skin, uh, as what defines who an African is, that on its own defeats the whole purpose. Um, we have Tunisians. They are not black skinned. So are they part
Mhm.
of the African Union? We need to step outside this thing of, because let's just use Ghana as an example, or even South Africa. Currently in Ghana, where there's a lot of complaints about um, people from Niger who are also black skinned but a little lighter because of their Arabic
Yeah. Mhm.
genetic influence. And we also have Nigerians. Well, there are a lot of other nationalities coming into Ghana at the moment. And if you look at the chaos on the streets in Kumasi and Accra, where these people coming in have no profession, they don't, they pretty much there to just beg on the streets for money, and they're causing. Uh, it's a nice, honestly, if you see some
Mhm.
of the things they do on the street, because there is no control, and already people are beginning to be fed up with this kind of culture. It's alien to the Ghanaians, and more recently, there's been issues of extreme violent crimes and things that are alien
Mhm.
to the typical Ghanaian. We're now seeing all these kidnapping and daylight robbery. Uh, it's overwhelming the security agencies, and unfortunately, the ordinary Ghanaian is the one suffering. Because the people in power who make decisions, they sleep in highly secured environment. They move around with special security, so they don't experience of things that the ordinary Ghanaian experiences. So if we're saying that, oh, because these are black brothers, really, it, it doesn't work that way. The color of the
Mhm.
skin alone does not define who a brother is. However, there should be so many other factors, similarities in culture. If there are no similarities in culture, there is bound to be chaos. So these factors need to be put in, and it's also beautiful to be who people are. Like I'm not saying Nigerians or Nigerians who are in Ghana are bad. It's who they are. They are who they are, unique in their own way. You don't expect them to change, right? Um, and if they are in their own place and being who they are, nobody's going to have any problem. But when they cross borders and there is cultural friction, then there's problem. We end up with
Okay.
the likes of um, uh, what is it, conflicts in northern Ghana, for example. If you go to northern Nigeria, there is serious conflicts going on there. Eastern Nigeria, there is Cameroon. There are conflicts there as well. So we need to be super careful with this unity thing, and that being black skinned is not does not warrant one to come together as one.
Okay, but what are some of the like serious challenges, and how do you think they can be resolved?
Well, I think the challenges we've already touched on a number of them. The first one, I just want us to, it's common knowledge, right? That as a human being, if you look at your body, you have an eye, you have a nose, you have an arm, and all parts of your body together they make you, right? Your arm is good for holding stuff. You would not it wouldn't be normal for one to say that I'm going to hold a bar with my teeth. It sounds abnormal. I'm not saying it cannot be done, but it's abnormal
Mm-hmm.
to be holding things with your teeth. Right. It's the same way. If I am Ghanaian, my culture and my personality defines who I am. Now, if you bring somebody from let's say let's use Egypt as an example. If you bring somebody from Egypt into Ghana and just drop him not in the the cosmopolitan areas, vibrant areas like Accra, just drop him in a village like uh, 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 Tuabodom. I don't know why that name came. Let's put somebody like that in a place like Tuabodom, for example. It would take so much um sacrifices for that person to survive. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean the person is not an African. He is an African, but taking such a person and dropping him in a completely strange culture will disorient that person. And if he needs to survive, he'll quickly switch to survival mode. Now, when somebody switches to survival mode, all he's doing is his survival, and he doesn't care what happens to the
Mm-hmm.
environment. So we've got I always like to use Ghana because that's the only place I know. We've got problems in Ghana like Galamsey, for example, that the locals are into it, and eventually you see when there's an arrest, you always see majority foreigners, Chinese people, right? The Chinese people, they fly all the way from China, aided by Ghanaians themselves, and they go
Mm-hmm.
into this forest where the community is is culturally unique to Ghanaians, and yet these people are there. Do you think they are there because they have to be there? They need to switch to a survival mode. Now, when they switch to survival mode, they don't care what happens to the environment. They don't care what happens to the people. What they care about is their survival and getting what they want. So they will get what they want, even if it means that children are going to lose their lives. They don't care because at the end of the day, that's not home to them.
Rush.
Mm.
Hello? Hello, Rush.
Okay.
Hello? Hello? Rush.
Yeah. Yeah. Please hold on. Please hold on. Hold on for me.
Okay.
Basu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Uncle Ben.
Yeah. Yeah. So the
Yeah. At
example I
this
was
point,
using.
it's like someone wants to come in. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah. Let me. If maybe if he has any question for you or something, so we can. So Basu.
Yes, Rush.
Yeah.
First of all,
Yeah. Please go
let
ahead.
me let me thank you for your good work you are doing for the whole Ghanaians, and then you show us that you are real patriotic. Thank you very much, and keep
Thank
on
you.
with the good work.
Thank you.
What I want to touch on is you talk about the unity of Africa, right?
Yeah.
But if you can permit me small, we cannot talk about the unity without going back to where it all started from. Now, the unity of Africa, it was an ideology of Marcus Garvey. It started with him in
Okay.
1930. That is when he
Okay.
started all the ideology. And then Kwame Nkrumah eventually went to university and he met him. And then Kwame Nkrumah get an interest in the ideology. He found out that it's a very good idea. But before that, we have a Ghanaian called Kwame Agri. I don't know if you hear about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From
He,
Cape Coast.
Yeah.
yeah, he has been already nursing that idea before Marcus Garvey. But
Oh, really?
but then, yeah, but then we don't have cell phones and the technology wasn't too much rampant like this modern day. So it was something like, if I may put it, if I can say it, we used local champion. He was among the locals, were crusading and then preaching about the unity, Africa unity. He started it first before even, but nevertheless, Marcus Garvey also was having the same ideology. Now, when fast forward, Kwame Nkrumah, let's forget about his education background. He later come back to Africa fighting for Ghana independence and then eventually get the independence in even Ghana supposed to get an independent in 1941. If you want to follow the
Mm.
right history, it's not even 1950, 57 that they said. It's supposed to be 1941. But let's put that one aside. That will be a topic for another day. Now he came and then Ghana eventually get the independence. Even when 1956, there is a Transvolta Togoland, then there is a France Protectorate and whatever, and then they go for the predecessor. Let's forget about that one. Now, when Ghana eventually get an independence, Kwame Nkrumah stood at Blackscape Square and said that Ghana, our independence is meaningless, and unless it totally link up of liberation of the whole continent or whatever, right? Now, that was when the idea he knows from Marcus Garvey come in. Now, the people that completely betrayed Kwame Nkrumah was these Nigerians. But when they were struggling for their independence, Ras, if you could remember, last 2 3 months, I touched on this subject small with you when I came to life like this. You remember, right? Hello, hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
I
know
remember.
what you're
I
saying is
remember
true.
vividly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They are when they was fighting for an independence, they was divided into three: northern, east, and then south. Northern was led by Sir Ahmed Bello of Sokoto. and then Nnamdi Azikiwe. Nnamdi Azikiwe was even not part of the picture. And then Tafawa Balewa. It was two people. Nnamdi Azikiwe was an exile in Ghana in 1934, running a graphic news called African Pilot. Now, fast forward, when Ghana gained independence, and then he was also brought in Ghana with a man called Isaac. It's an Igbo guy, but if I remember, that guy later betrayed Kwame Nkrumah also. If I remember his name, I'll give you his name. Now, the man brought in Ghana running a graphic news. Later, when Kwame Nkrumah gained independence, the guy introduced Nnamdi Azikiwe to Kwame Nkrumah. British declare Nigeria, these independent fighters, as a rebels, like the way they are doing to Palestinians. They did the same thing. Nelson Mandela. It's copy and paste. They never change their way. That is what they have been doing. If you are fighting for your freedom, they tag you as a rebel. Now, they declare them as a rebel and refuse to negotiate with them because they don't negotiate with rebels. That is where Kwame Nkrumah come in. Kwame Nkrumah, you see, typical Igbo man don't like Nnamdi Azikiwe. If you think I'm lying, ask any Igbo man. Original Igbo man will tell you that Nigeria downfall is started from Nnamdi Azikiwe. Now, Kwame Nkrumah go in to negotiate with them. Kwame Nkrumah visited London 3 times. He visited London 1958. That is the first time he started negotiating on their behalf. He visited London 1959 and 1960. Eventually, they come to conclusion. Now, the conclusion was come in 1960, June 18, that, okay, these Biafras, they will remain Biafra with their basic law and then high degree of autonomy, but still under Nigeria, like Western Sahara and the Morocco. Are you listening to me, Ras?
Yes,
Yeah, I
please.
think we're
Yeah.
all listening.
Yeah, like Western Sahara and then Morocco. They will still be under Nigeria with high degree of autonomy with their basic laws and their passport, but they are under Nigeria. It's like partial independence. This our modern day, Hong Kong is practicing the same thing. There is a small country called Gibraltar. It's between Spain and then British are fighting over that land. They are also practicing the same thing. What do you call this country? Western Sahara, the same thing. Somalia and the Somaliland, they are also practicing the same thing. Now, when Kwame Nkrumah negotiate on them, and then it's a period of 50 years. When Kwame Nkrumah negotiate based on that an agreement came, he came back and then relayed the information to them. They was all happy. Now, they later called Nnamdi Azikiwe because he was a person that was enlightened among all of them. Tafawa Balewa was just a headmaster for primary school. Sir Ahmad Bello was having a very deep knowledge in Quran more than the Arabic, more than what do you call a school. So they connived with this Nnamdi Azikiwe and said to him that forget about this Ghana man. You know what? Agreed for us to wear the whole country together, and then we will make you a first prime minister. But you are going to be a ceremonial president. Underline that word, ceremonial president. Because of that greediness, Nnamdi Azikiwe, he accepted and come back and betrayed his own Biafras and Kwame Nkrumah agenda. On the eve of their independence in 1960, they joined the whole thing together. That brought this Nnamdi Kalu, whatever they call him, the one in prison now. Nnamdi Kalu. That is why he rise up and say that the agreement between them and then British wasn't like that. The agreement expired since 2014. If you hear Nigerians used to say that a lot, right?
Yeah.
They were saying it based on Kwame Nkrumah agreement. But Nnamdi Azikiwe, because of the selfishness, British connived him and said that, hey, if you agree with our terms and conditions, we are going to make you a president. You will be a first prime minister. So now Nnamdi Azikiwe agreed that they should go on federalism. Okay, no problem. They betrayed Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah stand aside. They join as federalism. Now, they let him understand that he is a ceremonial president. He's going to stay there for 2 years and they will arrange an election. And then he will hand over the country to whomever will win the election. That was agreement. Now, when Nnamdi Azikiwe heard that, that is where their problem started. That is the genesis of problem. He started killing, number one, he killed Tafawa Balewa. He got rid of him. That's why Nigerians say that the first coup d'etat was set by Igbo man. I think you used to hear that, right?
Yeah.
That is the genesis. You see? So he got rid of Tafawa Balewa. He got rid of, what do you call this thing? Say Ahmed Bello of Sokoto. And then put in all people he put in was his Igbo people. One, what do you call it? One Chinuzie Dozie, and then one Isaac Barrow, whatever they call him. But that one, he is the only person who's not what do you call it? Igbo man. He's an Ikwere man. The rest of them are Yorubas, Igbos. They stayed, they stayed the coup d'etat. Now, fast forward, when they stayed the coup d'etat, he put in all the strategic area. He put in Igbo people. And then it's some kind of, you see, the life of them facing today, Yoruba and Hausa has faced it already before. And then it becomes some kind of, they have been marginalizing Yoruba and Hausa. That's why you see the Hausa and Yoruba going team up.
Okay.
They put in their strategic people and then marginalize these two tribes. And then these are the two major tribes, especially Hausa. They are the largest tribe in Nigeria, followed by Yoruba, before them Igbo. But they was thinking to capture the state. You see, so what Asa Ayarga is fighting, he's really fighting at the interest of Ghanaians. Huh? They was thinking to capture the Nigeria and keep it to themselves. So they get rid of all these people and then put in their own strategic tribal men there. That is where when one Gawan also come up. So he also come and make coup d'etat and then take over the seat. When he took over the seat, there is a guy called Ojukwu. Ojukwu said that he swore that he is not going to allow Gowon to rule a peace until Gowon give them their Biafra. Gowon also said that, you are Nigeria when it is a convenience. When one of your clan is in power, you are comfortable Nigerian. But when the power gets slipped out from your hand, now you become a Biafra. You want a Biafra. That is what, it is a copy and paste. And that is what they are doing today. You see? So Gowon say, it's not going to happen. Never. So he has to go to war with Gowon. At that time we are talking, that is it started 1966 to 1967 at the month of June. That time we are talking, Kwame Nkrumah was already outstanding out from the office. And then Kotoka, he did not last long. But when their fight was very much, that time it was Achompong, Kutu Achompong, who was in power. And then Kutu Achompong was holding Kwame Nkrumah ideology. Are you listening to me? Yeah, he is the only military. He is the only military officer who able to carry Ghana from. That's why they used to say from Otobeji Gulf, he didn't buy any Gulf like what the story go around. No. He made it. He able to say grow what you eat and eat what you grow. So during his era, the food and everything becomes surplus. He subsidized those VW called Gulf. That time, that is the time the Gulfs come out. He subsidized it to a extent that Ghanaians can afford. Some of them buy them and give it to their girlfriend. That is what happened. It is not for Otobe's Gulf. It's just a propaganda thing. You understand? So he was holding Kwame Nkrumah ideology. Even he made an attempt to go and bring Kwame Nkrumah back from Guinea-Conakry. I think you hear that history before, right?
Yeah.
And then Kwame Nkrumah himself turned it down. But then Guinea-Conakry already still him as a vice president. Now, nevertheless, it's a topic for another day. Now, he is holding Kwame Nkrumah ideology. So he said that, no, this, what do you call it? Biafra and what do you call it? British fool us. So instead of you people fighting among yourself, let's team up and find the lasting solution and then go on with the formal negotiating with Kwame Nkrumah. You will have your own high degree of autonomy with everything. And then Igbos are agree. And then Gawan say that is Hausa man. He say he's not going to agree because they cannot rule us and marginalize us. When we take the power finish, they say they want to be a Biafra. It's not going to happen. So
It's-
Gawan start seeing Ghanaian as an enemy. You see, that is why he
Mm,
made the Ghana must go. Gawan, it's not based on their economy, oh. It's payback. You understand?
yeah, I mean that's
Oh,
something
Yeah,
Nigerians have
yeah,
always
yeah, yeah.
made.
It was
okay.
payback. So Gawan also see what do Ghanaians as an enemy because they feel that Ghanaians are siding with these Biafrans. But it's agreement Kwame Nkrumah go with them, and these are all the documents. Is they're supposed to be a high degree of autonomy with their basic laws and everything, and then they will be under Nigeria. They are not the only person who's going to practice that law. Somaliland is practicing the same thing. What Western Sahara, Gibraltar, so many countries are doing the same thing. These small
Whoa.
colonization countries. You understand? So let's go back to the same route. Since the person who betrayed the whole Nigeria is out of the system, that is Nnamdi Azikiwe. Let's go back to the old negotiation. Now that one also say lie. So the fight break out. When the fight break out, there is a guy who was an advisor to Kwame Nkrumah. He's an Igbo guy. Oh, if I remember, later betrayed Kwame Nkrumah. These people, they are dangerous. He later betrayed Kwame Nkrumah. So he start that time they already throw Kwame Nkrumah out, and then he go and stand with the UPC or whatever. This Akufo-Addo Fathers Party. He go and join alliance with them.
The UGCC.
UGCC. He go and join alliance with them.
Mhm.
That time he is the one that sending weapons to Biafrans. So this Gawan feel that Ghanaians are really betrayers. They betrayed us since from day one until today. Because when Nnamdi Azikiwe hijacked the power, he turned the thing like the Nigerians are looking for unity and Ghana is struggling to separate them aside. But Nigeria little did they know that he is fighting for his own interest for him to stay long in that power. He don't want to be a ceremonial president. You see how the thing started? You really understand me, right? That is
Yeah.
how, yeah, that is how it started. So fast forward, they fought and then Igbos was killed a lot to extend that Umur Bongo from Gabon have to come and then take a lot of them. So now if you go to Gabon, many of them there are Igbos because
Yeah,
they are
they've taken
neighbors.
over.
Yeah, their neighbors Cameroonians closed door for them that they don't want to. They don't want anything. They can only support them with medicine and first aid, but they will not take any refugee because they know how they are.
Okay.
So fast forward, the war was ingoing, and then they said that they need to go to dialogue. Now their case become like M23 rebels. Now they say before you can go to you can go to dialogue with Ojuku. Ojuku is getting his weapons from Ghana. Before you can go to dialogue with them, you need to go and talk to Ghanaians. Like the way M23, people are saying that before they can go dialogue with M23 Congolese, they should go and talk to Paul Kagame. The same thing was happening.
Yes.
So they need to go and negotiate with Ghana. Now they go to Eburu Accord and then go there to negotiate. That is where Ghana offered to. Ghana said, okay, we will give Ojuku an asylum to stay here, and then the war will end. Now, Gawan said that he is not going to accept it because he don't trust Ghanaians. They can regroup and come back again. Because when we are fighting, the guns are coming from your country. You see, so Ojuku refused. Gawan refused and said that if that will be the mediation rule that Ghana is going to play, they are not going to be part of the agreement. So Ofovuanye have to say that okay, no, Ghana will not take Ojuku. Since you don't trust Ghana enough, we will take Ojuku. Now you are okay. Now Ofovuanye took Ojuku. That is how Ojuku ended up in Ivory Coast. You see, Ofovuanye took Ojuku. Now the whole thing finished. Now when the whole thing finished, now fast forward, Shagari come to power. When Shagari come to power, that pain is in Shagari, because Shagari
It's
feel
still
that
in
when they are when they are fighting with these Nyamuris, they call Igbos Nyamuris in Nigeria. When they was fighting with this Nyamuri, their help was coming to Ghana. So if that should be the case, he declared what they call, like we do any compliance order. They put the name for it like that. That they give every foreigner 2 weeks, but their aim was targeting in Ghana to leave their
Mm.
country. It was a payback.
Oh, so it was this retaliation that
It was retaliation, my
pushed
brother.
them to not
Yeah,
not just ask people to leave, but also
yeah.
pursue them and fatally
Yeah,
attack them.
because they
All right.
feel Ghana betrayed them. These Hausa people feel that me, I'm a Hausa guy. I'm a Ghanaian, but I'm a Hausa guy. But that let's say the thing the way it is. The Hausa people feel that Ghanaians betrayed them to what do you call Igbos. So people are making mistake. It wasn't Buhari who sacked Ghanaian. It was Gawan. Eh, it was what do you call
Shagari.
Shagari.
Mm.
Yeah, it was Shagari. Shagari said that all the people who don't have documents, they give them 2 weeks to go. Even when Gaddafi offered to come and pick Ghanaians with the flight, they declare they
That was the
declared Gaddafi.
that was the most painful one. That
Yeah, they refuse.
when yeah, they refused to let the airplane land to airlift
Yeah,
Ghanaians back home. They would
yeah,
rather prefer
yeah.
to fatally
Because
attack them and and,
because
and
it was
unalive
it
them.
was payback. It was payback time. Now fast forward. That is a small history come in. Fast forward, when they go to Casablanca, their first meeting was 1958 in Casablanca. When they meet there, Kwame Nkrumah, Sekou Touré, Modibo Keita, what do you call this guy? Jumbo Kenyatta, Ahmed
Mm.
Bembala of Algeria, and then Umar Sadat. They all agree. And then, ironic enough, the Arabs that we are feeling that they are not going to accept the African unit, that they rather accept it. Huh? That is where Kwame Nkrumah declared that if we fail to unite, we are not going to realize our potential as Africans. But there's people who betrayed Africans say no, Nigeria. And then it was that same Nnamdi Azikiwe, Nigeria, Obote of Uganda, Julius Nyerere of Tanzania,
Just
Haile Selassie
Togo.
of Ethiopia, Emmanuel Tubman of Liberia. What do you call? And then this guy that they
Togo.
came, Togo, Olympio of Togo.
Yeah, Olympio. Yeah.
And then what do you call this guy also? The people that betrayed Kenneth Kaunda of Mozambique.
Kamunde.
Those are
Kamunde.
Kaunda, yeah. Yeah, Kenneth Kaunda. Those are the people who betrayed Kwame Nkrumah. For the French people, and then
Wow.
our own and our own Ivory Coast there, what do Ofo. They are the people who betrayed Kwame Nkrumah and say that unity is Kwame Nkrumah. Let me tell you, borderless Africa can never be possible because even Kwame Nkrumah,
No.
in his quest of unity, fighting for unity, he never said that they should make borderless Africa. In fact, in 1963, he declared that let's retain the border because if we make an attempt to to erase all the artificial boundary, he don't see which country will not go to conflict with each other. So we can unite and retain the border. The damage has already been caused. End of the post.
Yeah.
I'm not the one that quoting. Kwame Nkrumah said it. So the borderless Africa that they are quoting, forget about it. It's not going to work. Look, we have a unity, or we have a economical unity, we have a military unity. We can only go that way, like
Yeah.
Europeans, and maintain our borders.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about.
Yes.
And as a result, people picking their bags and moving to another place thinking that, it's unity. You are my brother because of the color of your skin.
Mhm.
Is something that I feel is fantasy. We need to start talking about it because
It
it's
won't
only
work, my
promoting
brother.
conflict. Yes, it's
It
only
it
promoting
won't work.
conflict.
It won't work. So we can retain our border. Kwame Nkrumah himself said it. We can retain our border and then go to unity on
Purpose.
economic level and then military level. Like European Union, they form what they call transatlantic treaty, what they call NATO today. And then they have their various passports, but they can travel when they introduce what they call Schengen. They can travel to each
Mhm.
other countries and then go and work based on economic level. We can copy it and then do the same thing. But but to to do borderless state is not going to work. It will not work. Because now everybody has wake up from the deep slumber.
Yeah.
Nobody will allow you to take an inch of his territory. It's
Can
not
you
going
can
to
you
work.
can you imagine the other thing that we've not even looked at is certain people who believe that they are superior to others. This Igbo people you're talking about, they believe that they're from Israel and they are the people of God, and as a result, they are superior to any other group of people. So when
My
they
bro,
come to your space, they wouldn't obey the laws that you've made because they feel you are inferior for them to obey your laws. They
yeah,
come with their own laws.
yes,
And how can that, how can it work? It's only
it will
going
work.
to result in
Yeah, my
chaos.
brother, excuse me for my language. Excuse me. You see, me, I see Igbo people as every 9 out of 10 are sick in the head. Excuse me for my language. That's how I see them. I think the war really affect them beyond the redemption. Why did I say that? They don't know where they are come from. They came from, and they don't know what they want. They said they come from. Some of them claim that they are Israelis. Some of them say that they migrated from Ghana. There is a story now pop up on the internet that they
Oh my
migrated from
God.
Ghana.
Really?
Yeah, they migrated from Ghana and descended down towards to what we call Benin and others. Some of them are saying that Ghana was revealed to them. As I earlier said it on one of his interview, he said Ghana. They wrote a book about it now. Ghana was revealed to them as their promised land. You see, they
Oh,
now came. Yes, they now came back and said that some of them came from Brazil. So these people, they don't know where they are a bunch of confused people. You know, if they see a country doing well, you see, then they try to tie their destiny, which is not bad. If you tie your destiny to a country that is doing well and then you remain calm, but you don't export your criminality and then your lousiness, and then just because you feel you are the lousy in the room does not make you right. You see, that is where they get problem with everybody. You see, and then if they
mm,
troop in, let me tell you, I went to Japan, what do you call, last year, and then there was a very serious demonstration going on. If they see, I remember police came to our hotel, bring your passport, harassing us. I showed him my passport and then sorry, because they hate to see someone with American passport. Sorry. And then they go. Later, I called someone and then asked the guy, what is going on? The guy told me that there is some group of Nigerians who went and fight with police, Japanese police, and then block all the busy roads in Osaka that they are not going to allow no car in and no car out. Can you imagine this?
Look at
And
that.
then
mhm.
what was the cause? One of them go and sell powder, and then he got an arrested. So during the arresting, I think he resisted the police, and then they used a minimum force on him, and I think that led him to pass away. You see, that was the demonstration they are doing. Even when the police was begging them, they refused. Blocked the road and everywhere. Now, police don't want trouble. They know that these people, if we resist them, they are going to cause a lot of damage. So the police retreat back, and then they start jubilating that they won the fight. Now, they grow on the what do you call wings, going to people's shops, trying to force people, Japanese are indigenous, to close down their shops. Can you imagine? Foreigner issue threat to a citizen. Now, police, in Japan,
I've seen
everything is
them do the
working.
same in India as well.
Everything is working in Japan, address and everything. So the police retreat, and then midnight they collaborate with soldiers, and then going house to house. picking them one by one. That lead them to my hotel and then come and ask me for the document. Because when they get a hint that there is a black man living in this hotel or this house, they must go there. If they see your document and you are Nigerian, you are going. That's how they pick
Mm.
a lot of them. You see, and then together with our Kenyan and then other African brother, they carry all of them together
Can I come
based
in
on.
here? Can
Okay.
I come in here? This is the kind of situation we are always hammering on for good Nigerians to always and every time point out the bad ones. Now, when some group of people went to do bad things, do you realize that from your story, every black person within that territory was affected? They don't. Nobody is ready to evaluate who is a good person, who is
Yeah.
not an African, or who is not a Nigerian. They see everybody as the same. So
Yeah.
it's a collective responsibility to put people in the right place when they're doing the wrong things. You don't wait
Mhm.
till people are now fed up for you to now cry jealousy what was the other word? Jealousy and
Envy.
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 Yeah.
You know, they always rely on those two words. They envy us and they are jealous of us. But I don't know, a country try to enforce their law, become a jealous of one other country. I don't get it. My country, my GIPC law say that foreigner is not allowed to do a retail business. And then I'm trying to enforce the law, and you are standing aside, calling me a jealous. And then I don't. It doesn't make sense. And then let me caution the word of caution to our fellow Ghanaians. You see, I this recently see that Yorubas are like with the side of the Ghanaians and some kind of houses. Let me tell you, Nigerians is always a Nigerian, regardless of Hausa, Yoruba, or Igbo. They are all the same. Ghanaians shouldn't fall the trap. They shouldn't fall on the trap because they already condemned their country by tribalism, and then they try to what do you call? They try to bring the same thing, import the same thing to Ghana, and then if we made a mistake and form an alliance with Yorubas because they are siding with us, gradually we are dividing. We should
Mhm.
remain as a Ghanaians, regardless of when they are on our side or not our side. That is not their business. All Nigerians we say should leave our country. That's it. Whether you are Yoruba, Hausa,
Yeah.
or what do you call themselves, Igbo or being Biafra, they should leave. We don't need them. So Ghanaians should not fall that. No, houses are with us. Houses, we have been with Hausa people for a long period of time. People should not forget that Hausa people did not come to Ghana to trade or to do. In fact, what they came to Ghana to do is was very, very, very dangerous than what Igbos are doing these days. They was brought in by British in 18th of June, 1720, to come and fight Ashantis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That is
true.
what they came there to do. So people should not say that they have been with us for so long. Yoruba people, no, they are all the same. They are all the same. Hausa people also, they
Can,
what
can,
brought them. I'm listening.
yeah. I want to ask this question. I came across this on an article online that this Nnamdi Azikiwe
Mhm.
was the one who paid for Nkrumah's tuition in the university.
My
Do you
brother,
have any knowledge about that?
don't believe it. Nnamdi Azukwe, Nnamdi Azukwe thought. I will tell them what they don't want to hear. I will tell them the history. Any Nigerians, any Nigerian should go and ask that what made Nnamdi Azikiwe did not able to graduate from Oxford University. That's number one. And then what happened between Nnamdi Azikiwe and then a girl called Isabella Robertson in University of what do you call? I just called the university name. I forget. Oh, the Kwame Nkrumah University in America, the one that he attended. Oh. Okay, let me forget. Isabella Robertson. What happened between Isabella Robertson and Nnamdi Azikiwe in 1921 that got him expelled? He's a rapist. When they
Nnamdi
expel him from
Azikiwe.
Nnamdi Azikiwe, put it on the loudspeaker, put it on the internet, let the Nigerians know that is the part of the reason why Igbos don't like Nnamdi Azikiwe. Nnamdi Azikiwe is a rapist. He made an attempt with one Isabella Robertson. So when he was
At
deporting
Lincoln
from
Uni.
Lincoln Uni. When he was deporting from America, that time British are still holding, what do you call it? Still holding Nigeria. So they refused to receive him. That they are not going to stay with the British in Nigeria. That lead him to Ghana in up all the way to 1934, 1930, 1934. That's my beginning of my submission. I said he was an asylum seeker. They give him an exile in Ghana. Didn't I said it from beginning of my submission?
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 What did he do before he seek an exile in Ghana? He was a rapist. They are deporting him back to his home country, Nigeria. They refused to collect him, and then Ghana accepted him, and then monitor him 24/7. But that time, Ghana also under colony. You go and find an African pilot, a graphic called African Pilot, African Morning Post, doing his own thing. When Kwame Nkrumah eventually he was not part of politics. Even when they started agitating, he was not struggling. He was not part of it. It was Kwame Nkrumah who brought him in. And he became a greedy, want to get rid of all these people because they make him to be they allow him to be a ceremonial president, and he don't want to step down. He was the first person who said that Africa shouldn't unite because if Africa unites, he's going to lose his position as a president. So these people have been an ambitious people from day one, want to hijack that country, Nigeria. Yoruba and Hausa people, they able to figure it very early. That's why it looked like they are marginalized. But the life of Igbos today, Hausas and Yorubas have been experienced it long ago when he was in power. They was marginalized by Igbo. You think why they go around boasting that they are the rich people? Because when one of their own was in power, oil and everything sector was occupied by them. All the business was occupied by them. So Hausa and then Yorubas are marginalized. That's why they also go and form alliance and then start dealing with them. So Igbo man to become a president, it will never happen. Omame, that is what they used to say. It will never happen. Good luck was not Igbo. Good luck was a Beni man. It will never happen. They will never, it will be over their dead body for them to allow Igbos to rule. And they know that. That's why they are fighting for their Biafra. You see? So Nnamdi Azikiwe did not pay any Kwame Nkrumah nothing. Look, the same thing you asked me a question. There is a propaganda.
Do you know where I first heard this this propaganda?
No.
From Black Rasta.
Black Rasta.
Do you know I grew up in the same area as Black Rasta.
Black Rasta, it pain me, is one of our own. Even you want to say a bad word to him, you cannot say Black Rasta. Wakako to say Bodaminity. You know, so that kind of person, we shouldn't pay much attention to him because someone that claimed to be a lecturer of Lincoln University or whatever university he claimed to be, and then you end up off in radio station, jumping one up places. You're supposed to be an employer yourself, employing people, not to be an employee. You understand?
According to his narration, if not for Nnamdi Azikiwe, Ghana wouldn't have gained its independence because Nnamdi Azikiwe was the one who paid for Nkrumah's tuition fees in the university.
He's a blatant liar.
I guess you are aware he's been doing this.
He doesn't know
this African history class or whatever.
Let me tell you something. If somebody tell me that Black Rasta is one of the people that these Igbos or Nigeria is able to give something for them to stand behind, I cannot argue with that person much because why did I say that? Black Rasta things that he have been saying, he has no clue. And if you tell him to bring evidence, he don't have. These few days, Nigerians have been saying that don't bite the finger that fed you. And I don't know what they did to Ghana. That they are saying don't bite the finger that fed you. That they are the backbone of Ghana economy. So this is all propaganda.
I think the reason why they are saying this is because there was a time that Ghana had famine when there was bushfires everywhere and we had chased away all our productive people, and those who couldn't run away, unfortunately, were unalived. And we got to a point where there was no food, and a lot of people went to Nigeria to hustle and get some food
You
and
know,
come back
people keep
home.
on, bro. I don't cut your mouth. People
Yeah,
keep on misunderstanding and then misleading people on this history, on this part. Actually, you are talking about, I think,
83,
1983,
82.
right?
Yeah,
83, 82. People keep on misleading people that you have been to this thing. If they are talking for a big help, Ghana even help them rather than them helping Ghana. Because me, I always, in my ideology, I always say that their independence was given to them on the platter of gold. They didn't fight for it, unlike Ghana. Because, first of all, it was negotiated by third party, which is Ghana. That is aside. And then when Ghana negotiated it, when they finally gain and they are independent, they don't have doctors, they don't have teachers, they don't have nurses, all
yeah.
this, they don't have bankers. They came back to Kwame Nkrumah and seek all this help. That's why any Nigerian that are born 1970s, he will tell you that my teacher used to be a Ghanaian.
I
They
can I
came
can
back.
I can testify to this because my grandfather was one of the professors
Voila.
who
If I'm
started
lying,
University of Ibadan.
if I'm lying. So they came back to Ghana and then seek for these qualified people and then skills workers, carpenters, and then what we call mechanics, and then construction workers that go and then help them build their nation. So who helped who? Who helped who? That's what I want to see. Who helped who? You see?
Wow.
So, but what you are saying, my brother, regarding of in 1960, there is a people who later follow those people with the skills, later follow them in the search of greener pasture, because during that time Nigeria was better. But
Mhm.
not all the Ghanaians that went there went for greener. But some of them was literally went there by the request of government. When Kwame
Yeah,
Nkrumah overthrew, the whole thing scattered.
and it wasn't Nigeria only. There were
It
a
wasn't
whole lot
Nigeria
of
alone.
other African
So
countries.
if we want to talk, number one, we stand by you and negotiated your independence. Number two, we donated our qualified nurses and then our civil servants to come and work for you and build your economy. Number three, also, let me tell you, Nigeria, they was having what we call political crisis at some point, and then that one is not during Kwame Nkrumah time, it's this Abacha time. I will refer to you a video when one of their own come to their TV station called Arise Nigeria, saying that Ghana has helped us a lot during Abacha time. Who one of you come across of this video?
Mm.
I'll recommend that video for you. Arise TV. It's
Okay.
like they are. It's like GTV in Ghana.
Yeah, yeah,
That is
yeah,
one
yeah.
of.
I've been watching that
Yeah,
station. Yeah.
there is a man who came there and said that Ghana don't hate us. When they start their xenophobia crusade, the man came and said that Ghana don't hate us. In fact, during Abacha time, Ghana helped us a lot. And then how Ghana helped them? They was having what they call constitutional crisis. This statutory kata you people see today in Ghana was part of the team that went there and helped them with their constitution. If they don't know that one, that is what the man wants to try to establish in Arise TV. And then the host know what the man is trying to say. He quickly cut the man off.
Mm.
The man said that he was part of the team who came to Ghana and then be lodging at Kanda. John Lawrence give them place at Kanda. I will refer the video to you. There is
All
so
right.
many of Nigeria bloggers who share that video, those who are like-minded with Ghanaians, they share those videos go around. You see? So these people, number one, they always rely on their population. They think to build a strong nation and prosperous nation is based on the population. If population is anything to go by, British shouldn't have colonized half of the world. You see? And then it's only bunch of cowards and then foolish will think that to build a prosperous and then a successful nation is based on population. Population you can't even feed, you can't cater for. Is not worth it. So these people, Ghana have been helping them over and over, but Ghana don't talk. We don't talk. Even if you go to internationally, our record on international globally is more higher than them. We're able to manage to produce only one African, only and one Africans that ever able to chair a United Nations Security Council is Kofi Annan. Second, these few days, our president referred them to that. The whole Eastern Europe, which is I think Romania also, one of our own become a mayor of I think Serbia or which country. NASA, we have Ghanaians there doing wonders. If Nigerians are the people who have those kind of people, look, are based in US. Go to US and go to LA and then go to what do you call New Orleans and see Ghana medical doctors that Americans are benefit from them more than Ghana. If these people are the people who are having this high caliber of people, we will not have peace of mind in African continent. You see? So there is
Right. Can I
there
comment?
is okay, you can come in.
Yeah, John Sapo, please.
Yeah, Raj, thank you for the opportunity. I just want to comment about the unity. I think Nigerians define unity different than us Ghanaians, because as Ghanaians, most unity means respect each other, isn't it? For them,
Yeah.
unity is more like you have to be like me. So that's why they always get confused why Ghana is so united. Because for me, when I'm growing up, unity was like more respect me, I respect you.
Yeah.
But I realize Nigerians think that unity is like you have to become like me so that we can be one. So sometimes when you try to define it for them, you feel like they don't understand you. They think you might be stupid. That's not how it means. And I think that's the reason why, as Africans, we have been struggling to unite it, because we define unity differently. So for example, when Kwame Nkrumah or the others fought for all this independence, one thing I realized is, why do you divide two tribes into two different countries? It doesn't make sense. That means you are making it more difficult for them to understand each other. So fast forward, we accepted that. And then Ghana, we decided, you know what? Let's unite it. Let's respect each other. It will help us all. And we did. Henceforth, that's why we have a very peaceful country compared to the other countries around. So the mistake was made from the beginning. The people shouldn't have accepted dividing two tribes into two different countries. That means the advantage will always go for the Europe, because then no one will accept each other language. So we have to use English. So if that time they corrected that, maybe it would have been different. But fast forward, we made that mistake. Ghana have succeeded some sort of unity. Why can't we use the Ghanaian some sort of unity to educate the other African country and say, look, if we are going to do borderless, I don't believe in this borderless whatever. I believe that secure your border. If other countries secure their border and you respect each other, it's very easy to share data among each other. Therefore, if there's any bad thing happening in Ghana, or maybe let's say Burkina, both countries can track the person. Personally, I don't believe in this borderless Africa. I think it will do bad than good. Why do I say that? Because if you look at Europe, they have their borders there, but they respect each other. They make a law saying that if your citizens come to my country and do something bad, I should take in charge. Meaning, if they come back to your country, you have to deport them back to my country. for my law to work against the person. So unity is about respect. You respect my country, I respect yours. You respect my security, I respect your security. You respect my laws, I respect your laws. If we can all understand that, then unity of Africa will be great. But looking around, none of these leaders want to accept that, even though they say it. The reason what I have observed so far is because most African leaders want power. They want to be there forever. So it's so hard for them to let maybe Ghanaians come into their country, educate people how peaceful Ghana is. Because it doesn't help them in any way. Because if Africa country, for example, if the ECOWAS was smart enough, they would have asked Ghana, how did you unite these tribes within Ghana? And then Ghana would have said, look, they respect each other. So let's use respect each other to create a unity, not unity by be like me, but unity by let's respect each other. I believe if we all understand that, the unity stuff will work. Then,
Bro,
people like, for example, for this Igbo thing, when you hear Igbo saying, yeah, we are all Africans, blah, 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 and blah, 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 sometimes I ask them, do you really understand what unity means? For the fact that Africa is a name to define us, that doesn't mean we are the same people. We might eat different food, dance different dance, like different things. But then you have to understand, and I always say this, even at work with some of the Igbo I work with, that as Ghanaians, we are brought up to respect each other. It doesn't mean we are humble or we like each other so much. We have our issues, but because we respect each other, it's always easy for us to solve it. So I told him, if Nigeria want to be the giant of Africa, you people have to work on respecting each other. Meaning, if you come from Yoruba and you're going to the Hausa state, respect each other. As soon as you start doing that, you realize you people start intermarrying, your children become mess. So this conflict that's there, it will reduce. But one thing I've realized by the Igbos, they understand unity like you have to be like me. And sometimes I always tell my colleague, why do you think Ghana is jealous of you? And they will be like, we are rich, we are that. And I say, look, you came to my house, you rented my apartment. I've already told you, I don't want you to paint the apartment red. You decide to rent the house. You wanted to paint it red. I told you, look, don't paint my house red. Then you told me I'm jealous of you. I asked, why am I jealous of you? You'll be like, oh, I have a flat screen TV. I have a fridge. Bro, you are staying in my flat. I decided to sacrifice my money to build a house, not to buy luxurious stuff. So why
bro,
don't you understand it?
they
So
are
I
this.
always try to acknowledge, say some acknowledge for him to understand it. And one day he was like, you are right. So I sacrifice my money to pay the flats. You sacrifice your money to buy flat screens and rent. Why will I be jealous of you? If I want the same, I would have maybe sold part of my house to buy it. I don't want the same because it's not peaceful for me. I don't need it. And he was like, oh, you know what I mean? So I think it's just education about how we define unity as Africans. And
Bro,
that's what I wanted to say.
let me tell you something. These Igbos, Ghanaians don't know about this thing. Let me tell you, these Igbos, they claim they have 5 states. If we want to follow their states, they have 36 states, and then they have 5 states out of 36. If we really want to follow that, are you listening to me, bro?
Yes, I'm here.
We're listening.
Yeah. If you want to follow, they are not up to 5 states. Cross River State, they are not Igbos, huh? They conquer them and then annex them to become an Igbos by force. Calabar, they are not Igbos. They speak Calabar. They annexed them and then forced them to be part of Igbo. And then they keep on doing that to extend that they are entering Yoruba land. They conquer Edo State, but Edo managed to resist them. And then Edos, they speak what they call Ikweris. but they able to annex some part of Edo State. But this dirty, useless guy, that is the state he came from. The one who came to Ghana and then run his mouth anyhow and go, claim, thinking that by building muscles is what will make someone to become a, what do you call, he's a Pan-Africanism, and then he's they have a name they call him, very dirty guy like this, very dark man. That is the state.
Yeah, I saw his videos. I was laughing,
Yeah,
to be honest. But
that is the state he's coming from. And then they was trying going towards to Yoruba land. I'm telling you, what brought the breaking down of Igbo houses in Lagos. They was walking towards going to Yoruba land. You see, they go Benin, and then Benin resisted them. Go and form what they call Ogba of Benin. They form their parallel king, calling himself also Ogba of Benin, like what this Chukwueze is doing in Ghana. But Benin people resisted them and then forced them to apologize and bow down for Benin. That was last year. And then some of them couldn't able to take it, and then they vamoosed
can I
from the
ask you a
place.
question, bro? You look
Yeah,
like. Can I ask you a question? I've been
yeah,
wondering. Can you describe how their Igbo state look, their cities? Is it better than
yeah.
maybe Accra, maybe Kumasi?
No, no, no,
Maybe
no, no, no,
is
no,
it?
no. If their city is better than Accra, Kumasi, they won't abandon the place and run. These few days, didn't you see in video? There is Enugu state, and then Abakaliki local government. You see, all the village people has been deserted and run away from the
So
village. You don't see the
what have
houses
they
that we
built for them to
abandoned.
have this kind of confidence? What have they
They don't.
built in their
That's
states for
you
them
don't
to
see
have?
people keep on. You don't see people keep on referring to them that you go around claiming that you are building other people's economy and your place is languishing in poverty and then underdeveloped. Why can't you go there and go and develop? They abandon their place because they make the place unbearable for them. They are killing they are unaliving themselves, kidnapping themselves, and then they will show a very beautiful patakali and then wear it to Hausa Fulani, make it look like Hausa Fulani is the one that doing that. Until this recently, one of their governor, they call him Shurude, who came and said that all the kidnapping and the killing that going on in Igbo land is being done by our fellow Igbo brothers. These people didn't hear the videos going around before people
Yeah, I
start
saw it.
realizing that. Yeah, before people start realizing that, so they make their own area unbearable for them, and then they step on so many people's toe. As I'm telling you, they go around and nesting people community into them, trying to form one Biafra. Some of them are resisting them, so there is a little conflict existing between them and the minor tribes that are not allowing them. There is some places in Enugu, there is some places in Abia State, there is some places in Imo State, Cross River State, that if Igbo man made a mistake, like Ikwere people that I just called now, if Igbo man made a mistake and stepped there, they will carry his dead body. Like Benin, if Igbo man make a mistake, so it become an unbearable because they step on so many people's toe based on, in order for them to form a Biafra land. They step on so many people's toe. So it make their own zone unbearable for them. They cannot stay there. So they have to desert to other people's places. And then when they go there, they carry along with their so-called culture that they don't want to lose their culture. Then stay your area with your culture. Stay on your land with your culture if you don't want to get lost with your culture, whatever you call it. Which country
So
displays better
why have
culture
our
more than
politicians
Ghanaians?
entertained them? Because
You
sometimes
see,
I don't get it. If someone is doing this terrorist stuff in Nigeria, whatever, separate group or whatever, why do we entertain them in our capital where all government buildings are there, all
this is
security things
this
are there?
question
I don't understand. I'm trying to
this
understand it.
question also, yeah, this question also is baffles me that President Mahama, we all had hope in him. Although in some sector he's doing best and he's doing better. But it baffles me, he put a blind eye, and to extent that when they send, let me tell you, a typical Nigerian, especially their politicians, are afraid of Ghana. You don't see South Africa have been pushing them long time. Zimbabwe have been pushing them long time. Go to Ethiopia, they are languishing in jail. Go to Kenya, they have been pushing them long time. They never send their foreign minister until Ghana starts saying Nigeria must go. They rush and come there because they are afraid of Ghana. Because all the history I gave you, they are top ranking leaders, know all this thing. So they are afraid to fall out with Ghana. I'm telling you the reality. That's why they quickly send that Bianca Ojukwu to come there, to come and negotiate. But President Trump, when she came there, President is saying that it is a storm in a teacup because he can speak English. When 2028 comes, people also will remind him a storm in a teacup because you cannot prioritize foreigners more than your own citizen. This man became a security threat. Look, we have a Mamprusi and then what do you call Kusasi is fighting. It was started by this. They say the history told us that when if the land belongs to Kusasis, and then they was being attacked all the time, and then they bring Mamprusis to come and help them to fight. When they finish, they give a small portion of land to stay, and then today it's becoming to their own. The same thing Chukwude is doing. People will ignore it and think that is nothing. Let's overlook it. A time will come, it will be too late for all of us. So it's better we start fighting him from now. Because Igbos, wherever they go, they want to leave their foot stamp there. They want to claim the place. That's why I wonder when they get a ball, morale, infantry, such a panache to going to be suing our leaders to court when they cannot do that to Lagos in their own land. Ghanaians didn't break their houses down. They just tell them to leave, behave or you leave. But you are suing us. You that are offending our law. You have a morale to come and sue us. Lagos, they are breaking their houses. Some of them put on 100 million naira to build a house. They are bringing it down. And then just Friday, Lagos state government further issue warning to them that all Igbos should leave Lagos state or they will risk their property, bringing their property further down. You see, they should go back to their Igbo land. Because why? They start claiming that Lagos is no man's land. These few days, some of their hungry, useless bloggers in Ghana start claiming that Accra is no man's land. This is how they started. So the earlier we stand up for them, the better for us.
I don't understand. The reason why it got me scared and the reason why I've been following the story was since this happened, none of the two biggest political parties have said anything. And I was like, what's going on? Because we all know in Ghana, when something happened, one political party would take it as a, what do we call it? Like a campaign kind of message, isn't it? But even the opposition party have not done that. So I was asking myself, what is going on? Because it doesn't make sense for Ghana to accept a separate group in Ghana, right? Because if you accept one separate group, other separate group will come too. And one thing that shocked me is when the Traditional Council issue a letter, and this guy always have a nerve to come and reply. And I'm asking myself, what is going on? Because I'm from Ashanti. If Otunvo issue a letter and you are a foreigner and you dare to reply like he's doing at the gas states, we will come for you, regardless.
Bro, I have answered to your question. Yes. I have answered to your question. Bro, let me tell you something. We Ghanaians, people are yet to discover us and then know whom we are. Ghanaian can be, we are just like rats. Yet to say in Kura, we can be biting you and then be finding you at the same time. You see, Ghanaians, let me tell you, these politicians, they know what is going on. They see what is going on, and they are aware what is going on. Let me tell you, let us start approaching the election year. They will start using these Nigerians to campaign. That if they come to power, they will make sure that all the foreigners will leave the land. But now they put a blind eye like what nothing is going on. That's number one. Number two, Mahama, I force myself to believe that maybe unless he proved me wrong, I force myself to believe that it's either he is trying to play a diplomatic or he is trying to carry a Ghana good image because they target South Africa's xenophobia to extent that just recently Ramaphosa come outside and say that investors are afraid to come to South Africa to invest due to the name they tag to them. That was last week. So he is begging to Operation Dudula to stop all what they are doing. If they fail, that any Nigerian or any foreigner is breaking law, and then they want to contribute, they should join this one of the services, either military or police officer or whatever. Then they can contribute their own part of the country development. They shouldn't carry the law into their hands because the
Yeah, I
investors are
understand.
running away. I'm coming. So Mahama is trying to play
I
that.
understand
Is
you what you're trying to say, bro.
yeah,
But let's all be honest with Ghana. Ghana is not on the
yeah.
world map because
Mhm.
of we are on the world map because we are peaceful. That's what
Yeah,
brings people to Ghana. If you
yeah.
hear people in Europe, America, and they say, "Oh, Ghana is peaceful," it's peaceful.
Hmm.
But in South Africa, despite them sacking other people, they are not peaceful like that. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So
And
it's a whole
hmm.
different thing. So I
Yeah,
understand if the president want to play diplomatic, but a smart president, whilst you are playing diplomatic, you have to also behind the scenes. You know what I mean?
there
Let people
there is
push.
something I don't want
Because for
to
example,
dis.
if yeah,
Okay, there is something I don't want to disclose it here right now, but I can take off the small. I have a even me and Rash, we have a conversation before last I think a year, last year, or last 5 months ago. I have so
mhm,
many people into immigration office, and then there are some ranking members. Bro, if I tell you the number of Nigerians that go home on daily basis, brother, I swear to my living God that I'm here, you will not believe it. Ghanaians are doing it
understand.
slowly, and they are not carrying them back to Nigeria. Some of them they've been dumped them in Benin, some of them they've been dumped them in Togo. I'm the one that telling you this. You understand what I mean? So
That
they are
So
trying their best, but they are
Yeah,
trying to
I'm
do
back.
it.
You're back.
yeah,
Mhm.
can I come in here?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, see, the problem, I think the way Ghana is handling it is not great. Like
Yeah.
our brother was saying, if indeed you are getting results, right? We are in information age, age where decisions are made based on data. And like you are saying, there are data showing people going out, but there is also data showing people coming in. And
Hmm.
we're not saying that people cannot move between countries. No, what we are saying is that these culture that is coming in
Hmm.
have a particular nature, and their ways and ambition is completely going to impact Ghanaians eventually. We may not see it now, though we've started seeing evidence of it. It's not really taking root yet. When it takes
Yeah.
root, the entire country will be destroyed. We will be no different from where they are coming from. So their
Hmm.
next target will be where? Liberia or
Hmm.
Ivory Coast. We
No,
shouldn't
they
sit
don't. They
down.
dare go to Ivory Coast. French people, they are afraid of them.
Yeah,
Continue,
we
bro.
shouldn't sit down and allow this to just unfold right in front of us and think diplomacy it, it means that don't do anything. I mean, we've had information of the High Commissioner of Nigeria instructing all our media houses to desist from publishing crimes
Let me
committed by
let me
Nigerians.
tell you,
Yet
bro.
our prisons, if I can finish, our
Yeah.
prisons, right, are filled with Nigerians, and very soon the capacity will not be able to
Hmm.
accommodate any of them anymore. What happens
Yeah.
next? We're going to throw them into other people's country, like Togo and Benin you were talking about earlier,
Hmm.
and they're going to cause problems there as well. Remember, those guys are just our next door neighbors. If they have a problem, we have a problem.
Yeah.
So I think something has to be strategically done
Hmm.
to stop this movement. being Africans doesn't mean that we're united. So you pick your bag, you have no job, nothing. You just pick your bag and you're coming to hustle. I mean, I
It
don't know,
doesn't make
but
sense.
it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't
Bro,
make sense.
bro, let me tell you something. You know, people have been referring each other to this Chukwude video when he proclaimed that he acquired a land, that he want to build Igbo village. Later he repeats it and say Igbo kingdom and this thing. There is a particular place people are not paying attention. That made him keep on denying over and over that he said Igbo village, Igbo village. If you listen to the video very careful, he said he will build a Igbo village or whatever you call it, and then name them after one some of the assistants, Samuel Ekpa, and then Nnamdi Azikiwe, whatever. And then Igbo someday will get a president from Nigeria. And then when they visited Ghana, they will come to that Igbo town or Igbo village, and then they will meet with security, and then they will open them to enter. Anybody across the world, Igbos across the world that want to buy house or land will come there and then acquire land and then build or buy a house there. From there,
They will
underline that
expand.
word. From there, and then Igbos will expand. Now, that brought me to one of their lecture 3 or 6 years ago. Who is a lecturer of a University of Cape Coast, who gathered
Yeah.
people saying that they call him Samuel Ekpa, oh no, Samuel Agbagba, who said that they should take over the strategic positions, that Ghana education is 80% inferior than Nigeria own, that they will take a strategic position and like our media places and whatever, and then small time they will take over this country. If you could remember that video that go viral until
Yeah.
they deported that what do you call it, that professor. Now, what make me have an low morale on Mahama government was that happened in John Akufo era, Akufo-Addo era, and then quickly it was just a leak audio and video that come out. Quickly they withdraw the man employment letter and then send him back to Nigeria. Now, this one has been to our soil, violated all corner of our rules and regulations, and still have the guts to sue one of our own to court. And then our leaders, Mahama government, is putting a blind eye on him. Now, I'm trying to connect the dots. This professor said that from there they will take over. They get one madman, one barking dog, Chihuahua. I don't know. They say he's working one of the media stations and then doing PG program. Last year, I saw he was attacking Rash last year. And then I replied to him and then he wrote some kind of this. And now, if people are not bringing their mind to what this Samuel Agbagba said, it is something they plan back home before they come, because they say Ghana was revealed to them in some of their books. Because what this Igbo man is doing and what this Samuel Agbagba said, and then what that Chihuahua dog is sitting, I don't know which television station employed that one.
I
Which
think it
Ghanaian
works. It works with Kukwanan in the same.
Yeah, the same
station.
television station. Yeah.
I
The
don't
same
know
media
which
house.
which pigeon, this man, that Chihuahua dog, what is in his mind that can educate our young coming children, that the pidgin language that we are trying to avoid it speaking, because it is a language of criminal, it's a street language. Anybody who cannot express himself good in English rely on this type of language. That you brought him in to come and be giving program, which knowledge did this one have? That bring me back to this Samuel Agbagba says that they are in the strategic medias and from there they will take over. I remember him quoting saying that there is a police officer once stopped him in the car and he can beat his chest and say that police officer is a Nigerian.
Mm.
Quickly, Akufo-Addo government take an action. That time Kandapa was a national security threat. They see that the man is a national security threat. They quickly carry the man and send him back. But this one is here carrying. I don't know what he's carrying on his head with the very regalian, masquerade regalian on himself with a skirt and blouse, going around claiming to be a king, crossing all our red lines, and then people are still keeping a blind eye on him, all in the name of him married to one of our own. Let me tell you, in our article, our National Security Code, that is Article 11, Clause 7, we have what they call succession, subversion, collusion with a foreign power or politician or paramount chief or what we call indigent, or the oil is getting many, is tantamount to treason. Now, where his own come in is a collusion, because he collude with some of the Gan paramount chiefs that they're supposed to go to court and answer some questions, unless they tell us that that article they are no more that 1992 constitution that defined this National Security Act that says collusion, colluding, succession, subversion with a state power. To collude with what we call a paramount chief and whatever, that unless they say they no more rely on that constitution, that they will allow this man to be walking around. Because if you read our constitution, it's clear there. And then this man, number one, he collude already. Number two, he tried to subvert our sovereignty. Number three, he tried to what do you call it? Succession. No, it's not yet to the succession yet. It's already collusion and then subversion, trying to claim that he is the Igbo king, that he don't have subject. So I don't know why they are trying to sit down and fold their hand, looking at him. They cannot do anything about it. When the man, Kandapa literally said that the man was in his radar long ago. That when he was leaving office, he briefed national security that the man is a national security threat, but they didn't take him serious. You see, they didn't take it. The man literally sit down on his comfortable chair. They should go and bundle him and throw him to this Imo State, and then take his chairs to museum. Bundle those chairs and go and dump them at museum. It become an history for us. People will come and be watching. Once upon a time, one Igbo man come and claim as a king here. Because the man sit down there and say that he is a Biafran and he's a proud Biafran. And then we are looking at him like that. Nigeria can easily frown on us that we are supporting him. You see? So we should tread with caution.
Yeah, how do we even know with his declaration for Biafra? How do we know that this guy is not secretly trafficking arms and other resources to support activities of Biafra in Nigeria?
This is what we look. There is a guy. I wonder why Ghana is sleeping. There is a guy in Finland called Samuel Ekpa.
Ekpa. Yeah.
Yes.
He was arrested based on the same.
He declared Biafra as an independent and named all the Yoruba land called Ogodobi, and whatever. Name all, join all the Yoruba land to Biafra and declare them independent. That is a country that is serious, and then they are very key to their security. They pick him up, and then he claimed that he's creating content. He don't know that it is causing harm to Nigeria. Now, Finland authorities say, no problem. We are also creating content for you free of charge in the prisons. Go there and further create your content there. You see? But this one, he sat down on our soil, in our land, and declared that he's a proud Biafran. And then there is nothing no one can do about it. And then we still smile and entertain with him because of Samuel Ekpa is married to a Finnish woman. They have 3 children. They took their children and woman and threw him to prison. And then, according to his sentences, he appealed no guilty. If he should have appealed guilty, it should be easy for him. Now he's facing sentence in Finland. If he finishes, they are going to deport him back to Nigeria, and Nigeria government also, because they refuse to hand him over to Nigeria. So Nigeria government also will try him and jail him. So he's going to face 2 jail terms. You see, they revoke all his citizenship and they will send him back after 6 years. That's why his sentences was lineage. They give him 6 years. After 6 years, because they will deport him back. After 6 years, they will send him back to Nigeria. He have been pleading, going, taking lawyer, appeal until now he cannot appeal again. Because he don't care of remaining felon. He don't want to go back to Nigeria. Because you know what will happen to him there. You see, and this one, we are smiling with him, enjoying with him, pretending as if nothing is happened because he married one of our sister. Why? You see? Why?
Mr. Min.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I don't know if maybe we are close to 2 hours. So if we can, round it up and then
Yeah, I mean, for me, my last words are when we're talking about African unity, it doesn't mean physically um, bringing people together, and that like a woman and a man in a marriage kind of arrangement where you have to coexist in the same space or territory. It's about having a common idea, a common stand when it comes to global issues, having a common goal and aspirations, and processes and policies that will collectively help each member country to develop and build themselves very well. It also means sharing ideas and resources to promote each other and for each country to be the better version of themselves and not be left behind. Now, people saying borderless Africa, which means people moving across borders. And I think from what we've seen, even in a country as small as Ghana, it's not as something that will work. We had our own tribal territories before the Europeans divided us, and so we have always been divided, and it will always be the same. Mixing cultures that are completely different will result in conflict that we're seeing today. Even in northern Ghana, we've seen a few, and it happening in Eritrea and Ethiopia. It happening in the Congo. It's happening everywhere. So let us just be better versions of ourselves, respect our spaces, and collaborate with our neighbors respectfully, and with that we can achieve a common grounds when it comes to global issues, and we shouldn't allow our differences to be a problem. We are different, and our diversity is beautiful. We should keep it as it is, and Africa will take its place in the world stage. That's what I have.
Okay, me, my own is
thank you.
that I'm appealing for all Ghanaians that on the 17th of this month we should all stand up and support and then arrest this man, citizen arrest. Because if we are sitting down relying on our national security, they are not going to do anything. And then bundle him and throw him to Imo State, carry all his chairs and dump them into our museums. Beside that, another message is going for foolish Nigeria bloggers who are running their mouth back in Nigeria. There's a proverb that says in my local language that a foolish child that sees ashes today and feel that it has no use does not equally know that it was once a vibrant fire. So they should not mistake Ghana gentility as a coward. Then they should mind and then control how they talk to Ghanaians and then how they relate to Ghanaians. And beside that, my word of caution to any Ghanaian that living abroad, that having a Nigerian friend, should be very careful because they are taking this thing very seriously. They can harm you. So if you are friend with them, be very careful, because now they declare Ghana as their enemy, as an enemy state. So anybody who is living and abroad and then he has a Nigerian as a friend, I'm not saying that you should unfriend him, but tread with him with caution, because they are not a friend to rely on, because their mind is very deep when it comes to criminality. They can implicate you right now, especially when it comes to Ghana. That is what I have. Borderless Africa can never work. Let us forget. If it did not work in 1950s, what made them think that it will work in this 2025? Let them forget about it. It will not work. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
And,
Mr. Safo.
yeah, my last one is to thank you for the opportunity. And as I said, we are all appealing to Ghanaians that we have to help ourselves, like our grandfathers, grandmother used to do. They used to call it community security. Meaning, you see something that is not really a Ghanaian, report it. If the authority are not doing something about it, just bring it to Rush. Rush will make sure it go viral. So that's what I want to say. And with the unity, like I said, unity is about respect. If a country doesn't respect Ghana laws, let us not entertain them. So thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. So on this note, yeah, we'll call it a day. And thank you very much for your time. And Mr. Ben, thank you very much. No.
Well, welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So please subscribe before we sign out. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and please share this video so it goes viral. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace
Thank
out.
you.